Haven't checked in a while since the holiday season, but I just wanted to tell you it's been an interesting week and a half in my life and an interesting beginning of 2024. So I'm here at the Hometown Club where I started my Anytime Fitness journey in Fort Pierce. Saturday afternoon, I just did leg training, which I would have done last night, but I had just a bunch of stuff physically and emotionally that it was better for a recharge, you know. And eventually got up, participated in the daily entry for the Home and Gardens TV, HGTV, and Food Network entry for the raffle for the home up in St. Anastasia, a couple hours up the road from Fort Pierce. It comes with a coastal home, St. Augustine Beach. That's what St. Anastasia is, in case you're wondering if you're in that same raffle. A red Mercedes-Benz E-Class and $100,000 cash. So just had a blast here working out, seeing people from just different elements of the past 10 plus years of my life, people from downtown working here once, and just being a member of the community of the club here, downtown Fort Pierce, Anytime Fitness, getting in better shape than I have been in a long time at the age of 37. It's been a really good experience. What led to it is a very unique opportunity, something that's been in my face in my community all along, something that my community is familiar with. Organization called People Ready. So I'm back to work in the traditional W2, literally starting from the ground up, doing that until other things break for me. And that's just the success of something that tried to sit me on my butt. So unfortunately, a lot of people, they can't tell the difference in John 10:10, where it says, the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. But I, meaning Jesus, have come that you have everlasting life. And in some translation, you see to the full. So there's a line of demarcation, something that my pastor Orlando Burt taught me in college. So there's a difference between the devil trying to steal, kill, and destroy you and your dreams and your destiny, and God trying to give you life abundantly to the full, till it overflows, as it says in some translations. So I'm experiencing some of that life, the latter part of that verse, even though I back got sat on my butt in one way. So in mercy, I'm taking advantage of my opportunity. And that great opportunity, it's a hard job, but it's a doable job. So I'm doing what it takes to keep in shape. Got my membership here. Got that bike life now in North Fort Pierce. Just like Broward County, they on the many motorcycles. So it's an interesting project that I'm on. It's a new athletic venue, a new sport that's taking over, a sport with a paddle and a ball. You probably know about it. So I do generally construction cleanup. So anybody out there, if you're needing to get your regular employment and some pay stubs and some proof of income, even if you got a weekend shift job, a night shift job, by day there is a lot of projects all around me through staffing agencies like so. That's just the first one that I got employed by. So it was last Monday, and let's see, that was the end of January. I got an email after applying the prior Friday night for the organization. I'm filling out an I-9 in their office, and they're explaining how the things go, how you get paid, what's happening. And I went and did another I-9 for a remote job. So ideally, remote job, work from home sounds good, but that seems to be a slow process for me. Folks get all excited, congratulations, we like your application, this, that. But what proved out is the actual staffing agency job. So at $12 an hour, I'm getting a full-time work. First day was Thursday, and interestingly, I got tested. So in case I can pass you a clue, I had an interview the day prior at Aldi, a grocery store, an American grocery store. No hard feelings. I didn't get the job. But I met some good people, had some good conversation. Sometimes it's the face value. Like my baby brother taught me about face card. These rappers talk about face card. They'll see me again. I'm in our shop. A lot of times after my work shift, I come in there, dusty in my work clothes. But I've been there before as an Instacart shopper. So in your community and all the communities that you put your footprint in, try to maintain a good face card, a face value. And there's a belong when you put in sweat equity in something. And I think that's a personal breakthrough in mental health sometimes. I'm not the scariest person in the world. I'm not the most skittish person in the world. You know what I mean? Like just scared, scared, scared. Adrian Monk, Courage the Cowardly Dog. But there's a sense of belonging when you put in sweat equity in some things. And sometimes I think the barrier that some of us, if we're going through any such things, anxiety, depression, loneliness, isolation, feelings of not measuring up, feelings of failure, fear of failure, all of that. I think this video, I thought it through, that I got new content to share with you just in life. What happened to me this year? So on that same afternoon, I was following up with the International Longshoremen Association, ILA. So in my community, some people call it on the boat or on that ship. So that's a new challenge before me that I always like to go and bring back what I know to people. Because sometimes right in your community, there's 100 more opportunities than you're knowing that could get you in better shape in life, financially, physically, socially, whatever that may be, whatever type of shape you're needing. So I'm not complete with that yet, but I actually was able to sit for 2 classes, get that on my profile with them, just checking in on a Wednesday for a certain thing they're looking for. So that was a productive situation. But that next morning, I called, and this is where I want to get to with that staffing agency. People ready. This ain't a bad mouth. Sometimes people want to see how bad you want it, and that's not what the gentleman told me, but I can tell on the flip of what he told me versus what I showed up to that Thursday morning. I'm putting in work at that job site, but that brother said, I called him. The protocol, you call about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the day before the next day, or you call it 5 or 6 in the morning. So it's a training of your routine, your habits, your lifestyle, how you set your day. You can get yourself back on your feet as best you can, but what are you willing to do? So that Wednesday of last week, I called him. He had me set for Friday, the first assignment to move office furniture. You know what I mean? That sounds hard. But I said, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Thursday, I'm ready to get back to work. My money's dwindling down. I had took out money out of a certain investment because of a certain scenario I'm going through. But money running low, not because I was spending it. I was really putting it to rest, you know, safely storing and putting it to rest. But there are so many jobs I had applied to and job interviews I showed up to and nothing yet. Even one good prospective one, I had to reschedule my interview and the job got filled. That's life, man. Sometimes what you want, even what's for you, can get blockaded temporarily. Temporarily. But this video is to inspire people. So that Thursday, I call this man 5, 6 in the morning. I say, are there any assignments for me? You got any jobs that I can go to today? Brother said, how are you with digging graves? Not that I can see him, it's just the way he said that, digging graves. I said, I'll take it. I've never dig graves, but some of us in our family, we hear about our grandfather who dug graves. Some of us have family members who dig graves, you know what I mean? But because I need that money, I said yes. Don't call it desperate. That's called doing what you got to do. So I show up to the staffing agency, pick up the job ticket. If you know that language, pick up the job ticket. It's, the type of paperwork between the staffing agency and the customer, which is the person you work for. I show up. This ain't no grave site. This ain't a grave site. So it's a new sports venue being built in my community, in my county. And I'm there doing construction cleanup, and I actually meet an old friend from my 20s. And I'm talking about this brother. He hit immediately talking about God, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, and a good woman. So it was just a good sign that I'm showing up to a pretty wholesome environment, a developmental place for men. Like when you're on a construction site, there's literally the superintendent, in this case, who's overseeing. There's the electric company, there's the drywall people, there's the AC company. So there's a lot going on there, but there's a lot of good company there on that site. So it's a good place to work. And there's this really cool food truck that shows up that you work by two with the state staffing agency sometimes. Sometimes you'll be by yourself, but he was excited about the food truck. But I saw why. They didn't come that Thursday, that first day I went, but I showed up Friday. Oh, it was hard work Thursday. But I knew what I was in for. This is the kind of job to get you back in shape. So Friday, I show up, you know, working. And then here comes that truck. It's this food truck called Snook and Do over here in St. Lucie County, Florida. So, the food was good. I remember the first thing I got from it. I had a chicken pasta, like a chicken tetrazzini, just a little bit of yucca or yuca. I guess you say yuca. It's like, a potato starch. Latin Americans love. Just have one or two strips of that. Because a starch and a starch, the pasta and the yuca. And I got, it looked like a panko crusted fried fish. It was good too. And just a little bit of plantains. Now, there's a lot of starch going on there, but plantains, they got that enzymes to help break down. It wasn't a lot, like two little plantain little knuckles. You know how they come in little knuckle shapes when they serve that. And like I said, one or two of the yuca. But I had a little bit of that chicken pasta. But man, charging me $9. I already had my water and my hydration drinks, from set. But that's the one time I bought. But fast forward, matter of fact, let's not fast forward. That Friday night when I got home, I remember that Friday at work, these brothers from the air conditioning company, man, you talking about more evidence, witness of God, Jesus and the Holy Ghost. We had some good conversation with that one primary coworker that was already on the job site that I'm adding to. It's just a good environment. We working now, but you talk when you're at work. So I'm getting a feel of what that's like, man. It's just being in environments, being able to impart to people, speak good stuff to people, they speaking into me, and keep each other encouraged. And then that same Friday, that's why I don't need to fast forward. Sometimes I'm the one young black man that get to talk wealth principles with peers and friends. And there were just gentlemen on the site like this fellow from the Lot Speech construction company. Haven't really heard of them, but they're a big construction company of Palm Beach. So there's Stevens, who I'm a temp worker under that superintendent, and then there's Lot Speech. And I believe that's more the structural guys, the drywall, the stucco. And then there's Aspen Air Conditioning, the air conditioning guys that drove Palm Beach. That were the guys, two Latin American guys, good conversation, just culturally feedbacking with each other about the questions of life. Men and women have questions about each other, you know. When you care about God and your eternal destination, you do ask questions. You want to read, you want to study, you want to ask questions, you want to gain another perspective. So it's a good wholesome environment. We're working, we're getting money, but we feeding each other spiritually and socially. It's pretty good. And there's a gentleman, Justin, from Lot Speech. Justin got them trucks, man. Him and his dad, them big Ford pickups, custom paint. They take good care of them. Little conversation about that. Man from Loxahatchee Groves, out there West Palm, but he really from Broward. And just good conversation about wealth moves, wealth building. That was able to inspire the primary coworker. It feed me too. But I like to talk about things. I like to be, if I know something, feed a brother. Like I tell people about the investments and the credit and things. And not that I know all, not that I have all, but sometimes I know something that unfortunately you could have that wealthy cousin or uncle don't tell you anything. And he ought to. But one day it'll show that I really be putting in work. It'll really show. How you doing, sir? But it was just inspirational, man. Just seeing and hearing. I, I inspired. I aim to inspire people, even though I had some controversy pop up at the top of this year. You know, based on what I typically was doing for work and how that's going. But there's a way out of it and a way up. Because me, I live the whole picture. I like to live a whole picture. I'm not one dimensional, not linear. But that Friday night, I came in here, did leg day, full leg day, and people were in here, and I see Fort Pierce evolving ever since I really, really, really came back around the past month and a half, 2 months. Treasure Coast evolving, St. Louis County evolved. A lot of cultural things that weren't here is starting to fit. A lot of the missing holes of culture. What do you do? The open mindedness of people, potential mate. You know what I'm saying? It was too much of a isolated, I'm already set environment, but nah, like singles need prospects too. You know what I mean? Young and growing people need their employment and wealth prospects. I want to show you this art. It's real art down here in Fort Pierce, man. I'm in the Peacock District, 7th Street. 7th Street and Orange Avenue. Apologize for raising my nose, but a little itchy. But I came here, did the full leg day. I spent that weekend getting in shape because I knew the task I had at hand. Even skipped the haircut. I had self cut my hair, but you see that little bit of growth coming in. But maybe I'll shave it this weekend. I would like to. Saturday, came did that 45-minute treadmill walk, along with other things I do Sunday. 45-minute treadmill walk. It is transforming my body because not that I have anything to track, but I would say all of us men working in there, and there was one young lady one day doing some of the work too, but all of us in there are probably burning 900 calories working. It's kind of hot inside. You have cool mornings because it's still late winter, the Florida version of winter, 50s, things of that sort. But it get hot sometimes, 70s. You get back to Florida on you. You're working, you're walking a lot, you're sweating. So it's good to burn fat. Some of us got stubborn fat that we want to get off. Sometimes it's in the job opportunity. Like if you're needing a job or you need a job to match your part-time job or your side hustle. Sometimes there's jobs that'll inspire you to get back in shape, you know? And I went back to work. I could feel it. That weekend of working out had me in pretty good shape. But I didn't make any gym visits because just a lot of work life balance things I'm working out right now. Versus, against that one thing that tried to sit me down, you know. But I'm here, living life to the full till it overflows. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's perfect. But man, I'm back. I'm back to work. I'm back to steady work, and can only go up from here. There's some things I want to take place faster, but I can't. One step at a time. The doors open when they can, because you only got 24 hours in a day. This office only open that long. You there until nothing to cry about. It'll open. It'll open. But I'm thankful to be able to get paid daily. And having them pay stubs. That's a good thing in our American Western economy, credit-based economy, things of that sort. Your proof of income. I had it in my bank account from all the deposits, but hey, this is taxable and it helps solve yet another dilemma. But here I am. I didn't go last night. Vehicle trouble. My personal vehicle. But able to drive one of Dad's vehicles. During this thing, but lightly. You don't want me putting on all the miles, all the vehicles, some work you need to do to the vehicle, but getting a hold of my vehicle over a repair attempt. New cars are smart, and sometimes they have defects. So I'm dealing with a potential product defect, you know, recall potential. Some weird stuff happening. But I'm here. I'm alive. I'm well. And and only go up from here. So I just did that leg workout. Was able to see some people from this downtown community I've worked with, people from the gym. We've crossed paths over the years. But I feel good. You know, if I'm able, maybe I'll come back for that 45-minute walk later. But it's always you have to respond to immunity. Don't deplete yourself so heavy because I just did legs. But definitely want to come tomorrow at some point. Maybe after I listen to my live stream church services. But things are coming along. I want to inspire somebody. Like having conversation with some friends and people in this new workspace. Sometimes it's what people aren't communicating in your language, in your generation. There's maybe some pitfalls you might be able to avoid. Maybe there's some more consistent money and wealth you can build and relationships and maybe advancement in a workplace you could build. So the seed is the day labor job. That's the seed. But when I progress in that other thing, tending to my business in that labor union type of job, and just getting feedback from family friends, it's the type of job you can work near all you want to. But now knowing that, had I known that at 18, 19, set yourself up for a job you can always have when you come back home. You know, some of us blessed to live by seaports, even if it's an hour or two north away. You know, sometimes there's a local union for you, and sometimes that can get you in airport work. You know, some people dream of being that flight attendant, that baggage and ticketing agent, a rampage, a pilot, whatever it may be. Sometimes there's a lot of inroads to get you where you're going, and it's not always the next degree. It might help you pay for a degree. I'm always researching how do you pay for the education? How do you pay back your education? So there's always a way. There's always a way. So I want to inspire somebody. And it's not just Florida's Atlantic coast or Florida's Gulf Coast where I'm from. I'm from Florida's Atlantic coast, but I've spent a lot of time in Florida's Gulf Coast too. So I've eyewitnessed ports, seaports, port action. But a lot of people in my network, first thing they think is New Orleans or Houston, Texas. You know, but Florida has theirs. Miami, Port of Miami, like Rick Ross talked about. Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale. Port Canaveral, Canaveral Blue, UCF in space. You got Mayport, Jacksonville, all of its port action. You got Tampa, Florida. You got Panama City and Pensacola, of course, with military ties, like unto Cape Canaveral. But think about all those places with river ports as well. Like, you know, having driven over the New Jersey to New York border, that was one of the most lit ports I ever seen. But I wasn't yet focused on this opportunity that I'm considering now. Hey guys. So it was a good season in my life when I was up there working about near 3 years ago now, 3 calendar years. But there's scenes like that. There's all along coastal Connecticut, all kind of port action. The Ohio River, which some people from where I'm from, the southeast, they have no clue. The thing literally bans from the Triadelphia, from West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and that's where Kentucky comes along with it too. There's a lot of port money out here. It even goes along Indiana, and it's something that I got family feeding me that people want you to do well, and sometimes you got to take that alley from where you're from, your blue collar ethic, or your urban ethic, or your rural country ethic. You know, sometimes there's an alley. They may not explain the layout of how this is going to benefit you, but maybe they're talking about the money, or they call it another thing. They don't even lay out the benefits. But hey, it's up to you to research it. The age of the internet, you know, your handheld devices, your computers. Look that up. Like I was looking at what are the benefits of international longshoremen. So that's something where I'm from. But something that Bill Winston is adamant about, Pastor Bill Winston from Tuskegee, Alabama, that's in Chicago, Illinois suburb of Forest Park. He is a real live Tuskegee Airman, a retired Air Force captain, fighter pilot, was an excelling IBM computer salesman, and then he went into ministry school and and into the ministry. Started from Lake and Pulaski and he came to Chicago with about $200. You probably heard the story, but you should go look up Bill Winston and the things he's doing with financial literacy, financial institution building, business education, a grocery store. You should look them up. They got a lot of good things going. And the Operation 10 City campaign helped get some people straightened out. You know, some people are going through a lot of things way harder than I've endured. And it's on these sites where he's trying to get people employable. And he has a declaration, a prophetical declaration returning jails into boarding schools. Now, I don't have a record, but some people, that's the hurdle. Some people have a record, and sometimes it's the record that follows them. In that Operation 10 City, for example, and in other endeavors, like he has a job fair that's coming up. That's what I'm trying to lead to tell you about. They have their unions, their labor unions in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, up that way. So be optimistic, man. Maybe your car acting a fool. Maybe you make a lot of money, but you can't keep it. Maybe you're not making enough money. Maybe you're indebted heavy. Oh, there's ways out. That's why I wanted to make this video. I got to keep the content coming because I have to practice my speech. I have to practice my delivery. And there's people that are subscribers and followers and supporters that they probably, where are you? You know? So I want to keep feeding you, but with value. Something how to turn your life up. As Show Baraka say, turn your life up. So Bill at the Operation 10 City, he's having people free live scan. They're getting expungements of records. Sometimes that's why they couldn't work like they wanted to. He's providing Uber and Lyft cars and gas cars, and they're feeding people, you know, hard environments. New Orleans, Philadelphia, Chicago, St. Louis, hard environments. Miami, Cleveland, environments where sometimes people need a little guidance. Maybe somebody that think clear, somebody that's talking about some good sense, talking about good stuff. I come from one of those environments, lesser known town. There's a lot of people balling here, but it's a secret. They ain't telling you. But I won't be that way. So a lot of times, some people are more concerned with social, being on the scene. They can know the way. It could be their parents. It could be their uncle, their auntie. But they won't plug in. They just want to be a man in Little Town, USA. And it's like, it's okay to have a night here and there to catch up with the local, but you can't live for it. It's not very productive to live for it because a lot of times that's where the crime stats come from. He said, she said, disagreement. Very dangerous and bad things happen to people sometimes. That's why we have to occupy time and not have idle hands. So the things that I'm going to do my best to bring forth in 2024 is start opening doors for other people, get new credentials to put on my LinkedIn, on my resume. Some very monetizable credentials for everyday people, and start bringing that to people. Now, some people would say, "Duh, everybody know that." Everybody don't know that. You get what I'm saying? So let me be the one that can articulate it right. Say, "Hey, this comes with this kind of health care and dental care. Hey, this comes with this kind of pension opportunity. Hey, this might help you open the door to that dream job you've been talking about. Come do this sometimes." I want to be the plug to help people. And so far I have been. But it's time to take on new terrain because sometimes it's rough to get slighted for jobs you qualify for. No war on that, and that's a part of mental health. Don't beef with people like that. Don't strife with them. Don't say I won't do business with them. I ain't going there no more. No, you find some new doors to go through, and you keep a good face card with people. You know, it's a tendency to turn negative, but nah, that's just not your door. You might have not been happy there anyway. You might have been capped and held back there anyway. But somebody know how to get you out. And sometimes there's no strings attached. They don't want to do anything to you. It's not compromising. So just want to go new roads. I'm 37. Some will call me old. I call me young. Some people say, "Oh, you young, man. You still young." I call me young, no matter what the opinion is. There's a lot more credentials I can get, a lot more experience I can get, a lot more education I can get, a lot more wealth I can build, and still meet my wife and create a family of procreation. Real goals of mine, you know? And sometimes we have to do like this key message that I got from Bishop Butler, Bishop Keith A. Butler, back in December 31st, 2008, when I was a new graduate from the University of Southern Mississippi. It was the double for your trouble message where he was talking about Joseph and Job. He was talking about them. And I can't recall who else, but sometimes they took losses. They got near sat on their butt. People were saying you must have done something. Sometimes people don't know the difference. On that John 10:10, the verse I was telling you about, people think God is the one beating you up, teaching you a lesson. God don't want to take from you. God don't want you to be poor. God don't want to make you sick. None of that teaches you a lesson. All of that can kill you. All of that can get you in serious legal trouble. All of that can get you in serious financial trouble. That's not God. That's the first part of the verse. The second part is all these alley oops that I'm telling you about. I wasn't a basketball player, but people speak basketball. I was a football player. So I'm going to take my new alley oops and I'm going to help people by giving alley oops like I have endeavored to do for so many years. It's going to liven up my conversation, liven up my topics, liven up my depth of experience. And some of those locations I want to go so bad that I've been many times over. Maybe I'll get to go this spring. Maybe I'll get to go this summer. Maybe I'll get to go this fall. But I got to put it on hold right now, because just can't right now. Got to regroup. Got to regroup. But with that little seed I'm getting, 84 some dollars a day after taxes. You know what I mean? I found a little rhythm. I've been working there 6 days now. I found a little rhythm. Every other day, I pay the creditors I have in my online bill pay. I pay them $1 each. That's simple. There's like 12 of them, 12, 13 of them. I'm willing to give that up because I've seen the results before. At least I'm getting paid steady. A lot of bills I call, say I got to put it on pause. I'll get back in touch with you when I'm employed again. I'll be employed at no time. That was a vote of confidence. I wasn't even employed yet. I am now. And some of them have worked with me on the hardship and affordable rate of pay, which reduced my bills. My bills were heavy. You know, it's a thing more down to the working class, the poor, the working class, the lower middle class. It's to laugh at who ain't got bills. Nobody over the age of 18 doesn't have bills. They all do. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, you're dealing with $3,000 to $5,000 a month of stuff. Thank God you got family to live with. And that's the reality some people don't want to talk about in the Southeast. Meanwhile, my classmates from the Northeast, they cost so much in New York and Boston anyway. Yes, they stay with their family. Unless they really hit it big, unless there's some wealth that was transferred to them, stored up for them, they got a really high paying job. A lot of times they do live in a unit of their family property, even if married with first child. So down in the Southeast, folks look at you like you're messed up or something if you don't own a home yet. By 25, 30, 35. Congratulations if you do. That is an equitable move in some situations. But people shouldn't be out here counting themselves out for being relationship potential, for being what some would call successful, because you don't. Everybody's situation is different. And there's some things to where I didn't know yet. I just didn't know yet. Some things that I'm going to endeavor this year. So already building my file with that employment labor union, a work that they actually need manpower in. So look into that. Like Bill Winston, like I was telling you, he's got this upcoming job fair like Ivy. I looked into Ivy. Not necessarily the route that I'm definitely going to take, but I'm starting to see it. Already making progress with the International Longshoremen Association. But some guys are geared toward that. They want to do electrical work, construction, electrical work, things like that. There's organizations in our communities that can employ you and keep you in a job. So if that school district doesn't renew your contract, if that job environment at the local government gets a little toxic in certain ways, especially if you're a man, people don't want to hear you. If you're at that grocery chain or that retail situation where you can't even get 30 hours, there's a lot of ways you can go with this thing. You can get their ID card. You can get yourself a physical to put on file. You can get yourself a drug test to put on file. You can get the TWIC badge. These are things that all I hadn't done yet, but I've done a physical before, done a drug test before. That's why I keep myself clean. So I just want to inspire people. There's a lot of ways out for you. So if your car running, if you can get transportation, if that money a little sideways right now, I shared probably 5 alley oops in this video. Alley oops are what you can do. So it'll work out because I'm a person of purpose, person of intent, you know. And that way I can get some of the other greater things I've been wanting to do. But this is probably the missing link of why I couldn't do it. Can't really sit for no real estate mortgage class. If you ain't got no money, you can't pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? You can't really go take this sales job, can't pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we're talking commission. We're talking maybe you got to retake a test when it comes to licenses. You know, you already paid for the course, paid for the test, paying for certifications. There's a lot of ways to package ourselves. And a lot of times it's the credentials and experiences that are going to get you in the door versus just having degrees. I have 2 degrees. And sometimes that's what people go sour. This thing ain't that rigged. Everybody has a way to go. Some people come in by family money and family connections. Some people come in by credentials. Some people come in by experience. So you keep your head up. Just want to inspire somebody. Signing off now. Be blessed.